an introduction, wasn't it? I might as well launch straight into it. It's my bullshit now. Right. Is anybody here a member of a criminalised organisation? Anybody? Anybody here a member of a criminalised organisation? Not even Mumsnet. Well, I am. I am a member of a criminal organisation. An organisation that in a number of American states, we are criminalised. To the point that if you, as in you, so much as attend an event organised by one of my kind, you can be fined, arrested, or imprisoned. Isn't that great? So you better fucking laugh or I'm declaring this outrage again. Right, so what am I? What is my job? What is it? Why is it criminalised? Am I a drug dealer? A gun runner? Member of the KGB? We got any guesses? Any guesses as to what my job might be?
Social worker.
Oh, nice. Do you want a sticker? Come here. Come here, genuinely. Come here. Whoever answered. I've got stickers for people who take part. I have been a social worker, but I'm not anymore. Any other guesses? Any other guesses? One more guess? Oh, that's a nice one. No, I'm far more controversial than that. I am a librarian. Genuinely, in Louisiana, the US state with the second highest rate of gun deaths, librarians are criminalised. For simply being a member of the American Library Association, you can get 2 years in prison. 2 years hard labour. What's hard labour for a librarian? Is it tearing the last page as the Agatha Christie's? Is it only being able to stop David Williams in the kids section? Teaching Donald Trump to read? Well, it is madness, and in order to lurk in the shadows and still be a librarian, so be safe, I've recently discovered that night librarians are a thing. Some universities have their libraries open 24 hours, so they must have night librarians. And oh my God, I would go to town with that. I would have a cloak. I would have the staff with a lamp on it. Think less Florence Nightingale, more Stairway to Heaven. And I would have a raven on my shoulder called Edgar. Not, as you might think, after Edgar Allan Poe. Niche joke coming up. If one person laughs, please one person laugh. This gag works if one person laughs. Named after Edgar Wright because he only eats cornettos. But with such an old-rich job as a night librarian, I figure they must have other, more supernatural duties. So I figure they must also be a psychopomp. Does anybody know what a psychopomp is? It's one of my favourite words ever. No? Nobody knows what a psychopomp is? It's a wonderful word. You've come here to be educated, not to laugh. Psychopomp is a being that transports souls to the afterlife. It comes from the Greek, psyche meaning spirit and pompos meaning guide. Psychopomp. Not, as I used to believe, a flamboyant serial killer. Think Ted Bundy in drag. Dennis Nielsen in hot pants. I'm looking right at you, you've got that image now. Well, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean a flamboyant serial killer. There are lots of different types of psychopomp. There are the obvious ones that everybody knows, the Grim Reaper, Charon on the River Styx, ravens. But there are some less famous ones. Robins, dolphins, and apparently Paddington. Thank you, royal family, for making yet another childhood favourite sinister. I mean, after all, Rolf Harris was doing just fine until he painted Big Lizzie's portrait. Now, doing this night job does give me the days to spend some time making a bit more money and pursue my other interests. So one of the other things I do is, by night, kick-ass librarian. By day, Georgia Orwell stripper. My mentor was Nan Friction, postmenopausal wonder. Favourite of those who like and have more mature taste. Their daytime stag do's are not as rare as you might think. I mean, with people getting married later and later in life these days, nobody wants to be out past 6. And the venues are nicer. I mean, you're more likely to be in a coffee shop than a sleazy basement bar. Although a lot of the sleazy basement bars have now been turned into coffee shops. Another thing that I am able to... you can see this in new material, I'm just looking at it. Another interest I pursue during my daylight hours is as a demon slayer. Now, as you might expect, there's not a lot of demon slaying to be done during the day. But cemeteries at night are really creepy, I don't want to do that. So a lot of the daytime demon slaying is devoted to the admin. You need an exorcism? Fill in form 666. I'm the person who keeps the EMF meters charged up, ready for your poltergeist activity. If the batteries run down on those things, they do beep like a smoke detector. We had one of our hunters had the living daylight scared out of on a hunt once when the battery ran low on his EMF. Absolutely scared shitless it was. He had to cover his embarrassment by adding unholy stench to the manifestation list. But what dovetails nicely in with the night job is I'm also able to do some research. And to that end, I can look into supernatural anomalies. Like, do you remember the 70s and 80s were a real boom time for werewolves? Yeah? There were werewolves everywhere, amazing. We haven't seen werewolves around so much lately, have we? I think I've heard that why. Has anybody here ever had their pet neutered? Anybody? Get your pet neutered? Anybody? Yeah? Yeah? People often talk about how their pet looks embarrassed by their intimate bald patch. Yeah? Yeah, well, with the taste